This is the Rural Homelessness Podcast, where we discuss the important issues around rural homelessness, hear from those affected by it, and offer some solutions. Brought to you by the award-winning homelessness charity, the Ferry Project. Welcome to the Rural Homelessness Podcast. Welcome to this episode of the Rural Homelessness Podcast. I'm your host, Matt McChlery, and thank you so much for clicking over here today to have a listen to our show. Now, today we're going to be speaking to Ed, who has quite some story to tell. But before that, I just want to thank you for liking and sharing and commenting about the podcast and the different episodes we've had up until this point. It's really important, and it's vital if we are to get the story of rural homelessness being spoken about more around the nation, and also increasing understanding and awareness of what rural homelessness is and some of the challenges faced by those who experience it. So thank you for playing your part. Thank you for making a difference by liking, by sharing, by reposting these episodes. So please continue to do that, because we believe passionately that rural homelessness is important and that it's something that we should know more about and be talking more about. Now, as I said, we'll be speaking to Ed today, and he has experienced homelessness for himself. So here is Ed telling his story. Welcome to the podcast, Ed. Could you tell us, what was life like before you came to the Ferry Project?
Life for me was very differently. Being homeless, being in prison, it was completely different, because you didn't know, you never had a chance to move on with your life. I always thought I'd be in a circle of crime, homelessness, and then obviously I came to the ferry.
And what kind of life circumstances led to that sort of cycle of homelessness and crime? And
when I was with a girl, obviously the relationship broke down, and obviously her mum kicked me out, and then it just like, I didn't want to be homeless, so I done the crime to be put into prison, just so I had a roof over my head, so I'd get 3 meals a day. Had people to talk to, because when you're on the street, you've got no one. You're literally down on your own, and that's why I'm grateful for the things that I've done, what I've got. You know, it is tough being homeless, and it really is, because you've got to fend for yourself. You've got to feed yourself. You've got to try and get money just to feed yourself. You've got to try and find somewhere to wash your clothes, to have a shower, and that's not easy. That's not easy, because some people just go, no. They seem to think you want it for drink or you want it for drugs. But in my case, that's completely different. That's completely different. I think that's why I went to prison now, just so I can have food, so I can wash my clothes, so I can have a shower. And a bed to sleep in. Well, basically not comfy, but it was stuff I'd sleep on instead of sleeping on the floor. I think when I was in prison, I think the first time I just put a mattress on the floor, because that's what I was used to. That's what I was actually used to, sleeping on the floor. And then in the end I thought, now it's gone back on the bed. So I put it back on the bed.
Could you describe what a typical day for you would have been like? So when you were homeless, what might, a course of a day involve for you?
Usually just waking up, sitting there, hoping people give you change or bring you food out, and then literally just go back to sleep. That's literally that's the typical day. Because you have no money to go anywhere, you have no money to go and get new stuff or go and get this or that what you need. You had no money to go and have a shower anywhere. So that was a typical day, just waking up. Hopefully people give you money and food. I was lucky though, because when I woke up under my sleeping bag, there was like 20 quid in change. So it's like people just kept walking past, just putting change under there, which was quite good. So I had enough money to go and get a McDonald's and a shower, and that was about it. And that was basically the money literally gone within 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So yeah, that was tough.
And how did you feel during this time?
I felt bad. I felt like my mental health went downhill. I felt like killing myself, trying to end my life quite a few times. And in the end, the police had enough of it. They literally put me in a hotel because they didn't want a death on their hands. So they helped me. But yeah, I didn't even stay in a hotel. I just stayed on the streets because that's what I was used to at the time. Everywhere I got put, I was always back out on that street because that's where I was. That's what I was used to. That was my life at the time.
Once you were in prison then, did you start to get the help and support that you were looking for?
Yeah, they put me on antidepressants. I was starting to get into mental health. I was starting to get help from CACS 22. I was getting all the help that I need. Got a job in there, blah. So I got the help that I needed. So the homelessness, when I was in prison, didn't cross my mind at all. But the only thing that worried me is if they hadn't found me somewhere after I left prison.
Just about to ask, when you left prison,
yeah,
was it like, well, your time is up, you're back on the streets again, or did that happen to you, or at what point did you find the Ferry Project? What happened then?
When I came out, probation put me into the IBIS in Cambridge, and I was there for 2 weeks, and then obviously they moved me to the Rose and Crown, which then I was there for about.
Which is in the beach.
Yeah, which is in the beach. And then obviously about 3 months after that, I got a referral to the Ferry Project. So obviously I had my interview here, got accepted, got put in here. But then obviously I made the stupid mistake by moving out to go a little bit with a couple of people that I knew. Obviously that didn't work out the way it was supposed to. So I obviously come back to the Ferry.
And what did it feel like when you first came to the Ferry Project? Did it take time to get used to the new environment, or what was that experience like for you?
I got used to. Well, it was hard to settle in because I didn't know the routine, didn't know the rules. I didn't know what time you had to be in and out. I didn't know any of that. So it was kind of like, because I was a prison, you didn't have you had a routine, but you didn't have the time to be in bed. You didn't have the time to go to sleep, or you didn't have the time to. Well, you had the time to be in your cell. You had to be in your cell by 7. So obviously that was tough. So I had that, but then coming here is kind of like, what time does the gates open? What time do they shut? What time?
It was a different.
Yeah. It was definitely because I knew nobody here, literally nobody. The only people I knew was a couple of staff members. That was it. So I didn't know no one. So I had to get to know people.
And that was hard.
It is, yeah. When you've been on your own for so long, or when you have no one to talk to, like in the IBIS, I had no one. I was on my own. In the Rose and Crown, I had no one. The only people that spoke to me is when I went down to get something like a pizza, because that was literally a pizza place as well. So that's the only time. But apart from that, no one spoke to me. So coming here was different, yeah. But the only people that spoke to me was the staff member, was the staff, and that was tough. It was the hardest part of my life that I had to get used to, had to make sacrifice for, and it has been tough,
I mean, I know some of your story already, and I can see how you've turned your life around, which we'll be coming to look at in a little bit. But how has the Ferry Project helped you over this time?
For the last 2.5 years, they helped me. My mental health got really bad again. They helped me with that. They helped me get courses. They sorted out a fitness rush plan. But one of the staff members here, he sorted out a mobile gym van with a bloke. So obviously I've done that, done all the fitness with him, done a course with him. Food safety, I've done all the courses with that. I've done quite a lot of courses. That's how they've helped me. They've helped me through my mental health issues. They've helped me through my problems. They've helped me through a lot of stuff that I've been through, and which is good, which is why I think it's why I'm the person I am today, because of them.
What would you say are some of your highlights since coming to the Ferry Project so far? What are you most proud of during your journey?
The most proud of mine is getting to know certain staff members, when they was letting me go in the training room, build a model, lolly sticks, which I was trying to build a football ground, which never worked out. It went wrong. I'd done half of it and then it just turned out it went wrong. Going on standing with them, and just in general, it's not been as bad as I thought it would be. You know,
so it's more the relationships you've formed.
They're always there to listen. But the highlights is when I can get to cook food. That's the highlights, because I've cooked food that I would never cook before in my life.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
great,
good, because the cook's quite good. So she teaches us how to cook a lot of stuff. Which is quite good.
Wonderful. No, really, really good, really good. Let's just speak generally for a moment, rather than your specific story, which you've been sharing with us is fantastic. Thank you for that. It's been really interesting. But generally speaking, do you think there are misconceptions out there about homelessness and about the people who experience homelessness, like people's thoughts towards towards homeless people?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I generally do. I think people are homeless not because of their own. Well, some of them are homeless because of their own, but others ain't. And the members of the public, certain ones, turn their nose up, and that's, in my opinion, shouldn't do. You should help, or give them something like food or drink, or give them a bit of money so they don't get food. Don't turn your nose up at homelessness, because one day it could be you.
When you were homeless, you mentioned that some of the attitudes towards you were very negative. Were there any positives? Did you have any highlights or compassion shown by some people?
Yeah. Obviously, I sat outside an empty shop, and next to it was like KFC, and then the other side was Burger King and stuff like that.
Oh, you found a good spot.
Pretty much. And this lady walked. No, I think it was a lady or a girl. I'm not too sure. This girl come up to me. She goes, "Here you go. There's some food and a drink." It's like, thank you. So in there was like a big Whopper burger and chips and a milkshake. It's like, thanks. And then the other side, this lady walked out with a KFC burger. So, cool. Had my dinner and my tea. But yeah, there was some, and then people just sat down and had a chat with me, asked why I was homeless and stuff. So I explained all that to them, and they just felt upset because obviously there was no help before. There was no help at the minute.
Did it help you that some people were interested enough to ask you to tell them your story?
Yeah. I generally did. There was this old couple, and I was sat there with my all I had was my sleeping bag and just a couple of bits of money that people kept giving me. But people put it in a pot, whereas I didn't. I put it in my pocket because people around there going around stealing people, having people's money. So, and this old couple came up and went, "Oh, you're homeless." So I explained it all to them, and they went, "Wow." They went, "You're young." I went, "Yeah." They went, "You shouldn't be homeless." I went, "That's a choice." I went, "It wasn't a choice that I had. I made it." I said, "This has happened." And they obviously took me and got coffee and had a chat, and I was grateful for it. It really was.
What would you like people to know about homelessness and those who experience it?
I want people to listen. I want people to take more time with homeless people. I want people to come and see what the Ferry Project does. I want people to know my story, other people's stories. I want people to understand homelessness ain't a choice. Some people make a choice. I didn't make that choice. I had no choice. And I just want people to know what it's like. If they could go, put them in my shoes for one day to be homeless, then they can see it's very complete different to their life. Because it is complete different. You know, and that's the hard part. That's the hardest part. But I wouldn't go back up being homeless. No way. Because what I've got now is, for instance, the ferry has actually helped me get into a better place, a broad place, you know.
Yeah, that's great, Ed. Speaking of what life is like now, what is your life like now?
My life now is looking better. I've got a 1-bed bungalow from the ferry. I got bills to pay, but in we all.
Yeah.
But life now is good. It's not just the ferry that helped me. I think the person in the sky actually helped as well. I think he's like those guardian angels, like God. He helped as well, and you know, there's a lot of people that's helped me to get to where I am today. You know, probation, football, ground staff at the football here. A lot of people have helped to help me get to where I am, and that's a good thing. It's something that I can always be proud of how far I've come after everything I've been through. I didn't have a very good childhood, so you know, getting to where I am today with my own place, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's one of the best things I could ever have a good feeling about.
Oh, that's really good. What are your hopes for the future? What's next for you?
What's next for me is to get a job, to get a good settled life. Obviously I've got a partner. She's been wonderful. She's been there for me every step of my journey. Hopefully stay where I am. But yeah, my future, I want to get a job. That's the next aim for. I've got certificates, I've got qualifications, so it's just finding that right job when my mental health's better and when I'm ready to find a job. And when the doctors tell me I'm allowed a job.
Yeah.
At the minute they won't let me. You know. But yeah, no, get a job and just settle.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Can you sum up how the Ferry Project has helped you, and what difference has it made in your life?
Oh, it's made a lot of difference, to be fair. When I first came here, I was a bit wary of it, because I obviously didn't know the rules and stuff. But then as time went on, I wasn't well behaved when I first came. Like for the first 6 months, I wasn't well behaved. I got warnings after warning after warning, and mental health then went downhill. And then they've helped me through that. And then after that, I just settled and just was doing everything I can, volunteering, going to the art class, which I'm going to go to after this. CDL's helped me get off the drink and drugs as well. Ferry's actually helped me do that as well. So yeah, they've done a lot for me. You know, and they should be proud of what they've done for me to help me get through what I've got through. Because if it hadn't been for them, I probably wouldn't be sitting here doing my broadcast now. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't be talking to anyone. I'll be somewhere. Because that's how bad the minute I got. But they actually helped me get through it. They gave me a chance, and I took that chance with open arms. They gave me a chance in a bungalow. That's what I've done. So you have to, once you get a chance, take it. Because you want to get another chance. And I know that for a fact. So this was like my last chance of having a happy life. So the Ferry's done well for me. They've done what I would do. They gave me a chance, and I took it with both hands.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Ed, for sharing your story with us today. I've been fascinated by it and touched by it, and I'm sure our listeners have been as well. So thank you for joining us. Well,
that was Ed sharing his story with us. I hope that you enjoyed listening to it as much as I did when I chatted with him. Just for your information, Ed is not his real name. He asked us to use a different name to help protect his anonymity. So that is what we did there. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, the Rural Homelessness Podcast comes out twice a month. So that's on the 1st and on the 15th of every month. So I do hope to have the pleasure of your company again as I chat with more people about the topic of rural homelessness. It's a really important one. So please keep sharing this podcast with those who you think will find it interesting, who will find it challenging, and who knows, together we can make a difference for those experiencing rural homelessness in the UK today. Thank you for listening, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Rural Homelessness Podcast, brought to you by the Ferry Project. Visit our website on www.ferryproject.org.uk.